Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 3 for our descriptive setting on the promise, or settings within the promise. So today's lesson is going to be very similar to Tuesday's lesson, and we're going to be generating vocabulary today to help us with our writing tomorrow when we actually write the descriptive setting. So if you want to grab yourself a pen or paper and jot down today's date and the Walt, and have a look at this image in front. How does it make you feel? This is your starter. How does this image make you feel? Is this somewhere where you'd like to live? I'll back up that answer with a reason why. So I would like to live here because. I wouldn't like to live here because. Think about what the image was like on Tuesday's lesson, and why is this image different? What is better or worse than this image? I'm hoping it's the former rather than the latter. So pause the video and have a go at the date, Walt, and starter. So just like on Tuesday, we're going to focus on some key features of this setting this time. We're going to see what we can hear, what we can sort of work out what we might be able to hear, what plants we can see, what people, and the smell. So how are the plants, people, smell, and hearing sense going to be changed this time, and how is that going to be able to allow us to write a nice descriptive piece on this setting? So let's generate some of our own vocabulary first. We are going to be using a thesaurus. So if you're in school, make sure you have a thesaurus out ready. If you're at home, then I would suggest having thesaurus website open as well. So I've just typed in thesaurus into Google, and then I usually use the Collins one, which is the British one, but the one straight from the website's also fine. So thesaurus.com, and you can type in any word. So let's, for instance, we type in the word red, hit enter, and then that'll give us lots of different colors, lots of different synonyms, for different colors that are red. So scarlet, salmon, coral, cardinal, crimson, flaming, maroon, rose, wine. These are all different colors to show us how many different ways we can say red rather than just red. Okay, so back to our PowerPoint. So we can see this picture here, and I think the word we chose on Tuesday was bleak. Have a look at this picture now, and I want you to write down a word or two as to what you think. If you could use only just one word, how would you describe this setting? Pause the video and have a go at describing this setting in one word. Okay, I came up with spectacular. Now, spectacular, if a place is spectacular, it's beautiful and dramatic and eye-catching. Now, I believe this picture is very eye-catching, and there's a small building there. I would imagine living amongst all those beautiful colours will be a very spectacular way to wake up or go to work in the morning. So the house sits within a spectacular rainbow forest. So other synonyms we might use: breathtaking, incredible, delightful, alluring, magnificent, and remarkable. Now, your first task is to write down at least 3 of those synonyms that you like, and then I want you to find 3 other synonyms to describe what that setting looks like. So if you're at home, you might want to type in spectacular into your thesaurus, and it'll give you lots of different words. You might have something that you think, oh, I would describe that as beautiful. I can't spell today. So you type in beautiful and then see if there's any other words you can use. If you've come, helps if you spell it right, Mr. Laker. Oh dear, beautiful, yeah. Having a very good day for spelling today for some reason. So lots of different words there. Can you come up with some others? I look forward to seeing your examples. So we've started to build our vocabulary wall for this vivid, nice setting. So imagine you're stood in this town. How would you describe it? So we're going to build our vocabulary wall today, and this was going to help us with writing tomorrow. So can you, same as on Tuesday, can you think of any similes to help describe what this setting might look like? We need to use the same sort of approach of using powerful verbs and adverbs to describe what the nouns are doing within our setting. So here's an example I've come up with. A beautiful, colour-filled rooftop spread across the city like a vine-covered jungle. A crimson-red petal cascaded from a balcony to the floor like a parachuting soldier. So can you tell me in your books, can you write down which of those words are adjectives? What was the simile? And have I used any powerful adverbs or verbs? Do I need to improve that sentence? Write down where you can find my adjectives, similes, and if I can use or improve any powerful verbs or adverbs. Pause the video and have a go. So we're going to have a look at 4 different word classes again today, and we're going to look at one of our key features to start with. So in this case, we're looking at hearing. What can we hear? And we've got an adjective, noun, adverb, and a verb. You can play around with lots of different ideas here, but we're going to use these as a start in terms of giving us all the vocabulary you need to create a sentence tomorrow. So what can I hear? Thinking about what I can hear. Now, what I could hear in my head is I think I can hear some, birds singing. So I'm going to start with my noun. What type of bird do I know that sings? I know that blackbirds, they like to sing. Okay, so what were they doing? So they were singing, weren't they? So the blackbirds were singing. Okay, and how were they singing? Well, I could think they were singing cheerfully. And how would I describe their cheerful singing? Well, I think it was very beautiful. So straight away, I've come up with my 4 word classes to help me with my sentence creation tomorrow. I can start to think about how I might put those words together and how I might build the sentence now that I've got the building blocks. Now, you might be able to hear different things. There looks like there could be less things on the road. There looks like there's different animals on the balcony. There was even a mention of what people were doing around the trees. I think they were having tea and they were doing something while they were having tea with their neighbours. So this is your chance to come up with a noun. I would generally start with the noun, and then you can start to build what that noun is doing. And then again, flicking back to your thesaurus, if you didn't like the use of beautiful, you could maybe I think, right, beautiful wasn't quite the right word, but I think the singing was quite charming. So I'm going to change my pen color to purple. I think, right, I'm going to upgrade beautiful. I'm going to go with charming. The charming blackbirds were singing cheerfully in the wind. That's a bit better. You guys can do the same thing, playing around with a different language or different vocabulary to set yourself up tomorrow for writing out your description. Let's have a look at another one. So the plants. This time we're going to follow the same method, adjectives, nouns, and adverbs. And what are we going to use to describe each one? So again, we're going to start with the noun. So the noun I'm looking at, there's a plant I really like. It's called a rhododendron. Rhododendron. Now, I've got a dictionary. here. I can double check that spelling in a second, but for now I'm just going to get the name down. Rhododendron. Right, how am I going to describe what this plant looks like? Well, this plant comes out in lots of flowers and usually they are full of colours. I might go back to my vocabulary wall that I've come up with so far. Spectacular. Oh, I'm going to use breathtaking. The colour was absolutely breathtaking. So, adjective, breathtaking. So, the rhododendron was breathtaking. Now, what did the rhododendron do? Well, it's a plant and it's on a rooftop. So I could say it was falling off the roof. Falling sounds like it's not really attached. Let's see if I can come up with a better word using my theosaurus. So, is there another word for falling? Right, collapsing, that wouldn't make sense. Crumbling, no, I don't think that would work either. Right, let's have a look. Creep, like a vine. What does a vine do? A vine falls. Look at falls. So I don't know if I like any of these words. They might not work in to descend, maybe. Oh, there we go. That's a word I like. Cascade. So my rhododendron is cascading, which is a bit like what a waterfall does. Waterfall has a cascading flow of water. Lovely. Cascade. Now, my breathtaking rhododendron was cascading down the rooftop. Now, my adverb is a word I need to describe how it's cascading. So how did it fall down the side? I could say it was beautifully cascading from the rooftop. Now, I've mentioned already what cascading reminds me of. Cascading reminds me of like a waterfall. So I can now think about tomorrow, what could I compare this beautiful rhododendron to with using a simile? Cascade sounds a bit like waterfall. Maybe this plant looks like a waterfall falling off of the rooftop. Okay, guys, so now that we've gone through a couple of examples together, I would expect you to have at least 2 or 3 adjectives, nouns, adverbs, and verbs for each one of those. And you guys can have a go at the other 2 words, which are smell and people. So lay it out in the same way. Put people in the middle. Put adjective, noun, and adverb around the side, and start to think about some of the language that you might want to use to describe the smells and the people of this new setting that you're in. I look forward to seeing what you've come up with, and I will catch you in the next lesson. Cheers, guys.